Check. There you go, the first goal of the game for Hameed Al Husseine College. Stealing their, stamping their authority early on the game. Beautiful finish indeed. There you go, the first goal of the game for Hameed Al Husseine College. Stealing their, early advantage for Hameed Al Husseine College.
Lamis.
शेयर कर लगा था So in the third game of so you're witnessing the third game of the all-important Lifebuoy Bodywash, the Ball Blaster 2025. Hameed Al Husseine with an early goal. I have been joined at the commentary box. I have been joined by a very known face in Sri Lanka football and a good friend of mine, Shabir. Welcome to the commentary box.
A very good afternoon, Akhil. Exciting to be doing the commentaries with a very good friend of mine. An early lead by Hamidi, a very well worked off goal, scored in the early minutes of the first half.
Hameed Al Husseine, the semi-finalist of the last edition, lost to Aligarh Central in the semi-finals. So should be one of the favorites this year as well. You really cannot write off any team with how competitive every school has been in football in recent times. So good to see schools competition back, Shabir.
Yeah, definitely, Akhil. This is what the schools really lacked in the first half of the year. We saw rugby taking the lead by almost completing their school season, and it's good to see schools football back and back with a blast. So we see Hamidia dominating possession in the early stages of the game. And Al Falah, one of the leading teams from Negombo, they certainly will have a lot of work to do in terms of catching up.
The team for Al Falah, yes. MR Adil, MRM Hassan, MR Abdul Rahman, MNM Naveed, MSM Akib, MMM Umar, MSM Zamhar, MNM Hamad, MFM Bilal, Mahdi, and Umar. And head coach, recently retired from football, Harsha Fernando, and the master in charge, M.A. Basit.
The team from Hamidia, we have SM Riaz, Abdul Rahman, M Maziad, MF Abdullah, AFM Arham, SM Hussein, M Basam, SM Yasir, Abdul Rahim, M Said, and M Rishad. The captain for Hamidia is, the head coach is Fazul Rahman, the Sri Lanka under-17 youth team coach, and the master in charge is MNM Nimraz. So we see the two teams settling off towards the half, and after conceding that early goal, Al Falah is slowing things down a bit, taking their time to settling things off. We saw in the previous game, the game before this, we saw Royal College convincingly beating Maristella by 5 goals to nil. Of course, these games were rescheduled. It's a good move from the Mahalians. The goalkeeper lost it. The goalkeeper completely misread the cross. And fortunately for Hameedia, Al Falah failed to capitalize. It was a very nice, very well worked off ball. So Akhil, I think we have a good game on our cards this afternoon, with Al Falah also trying to play. A mistake by the center defender. And there we see the second goal, an own goal. An own goal scored by the number 2 from Al Falah, MRM Hassan.
So, an own goal.
That was a counter move by Hameedia, which started off in their own box. Akhil. Unfortunately for Al Falah, the center defender slipped and gave away possession for the Hameedia forward to take over. You see Hameedia moving ahead with a 2-goal cushion. Yeah, Akhil, I mean, Al Falah did well last season, and they have, I think, recruited, but the defense was nowhere at that time. The man marking was pretty poor, and a well worked off free kick. There was no one marking the man, and that was a very well worked off. Number 11 from Hameedia. SM Hussein scoring the third goal. Al Falah is facing an uphill task. Just 13 minutes into the game, and they are 3-0 down already, and they need to keep their heads high and keep their nerve if they are to well, they need to, the game is still very young, and they need to keep their heads high. That's basically what they need to do, and make sure that they don't concede more goals. I mean, the intentions are very clear. Hameedia is here to attack, and they're doing it really well. They're always using their left flank, and the number 7 for Hameedia is a very good ball player. Um, and I think they need to block the left flank off if they need to hold Hameedia at bay.
Sam Hussein, the goal scorer, has been a playmaker for Hameedia for last few years. Even the last edition of the ball last tournament, he was a playmaker for Hameedia. Good to see he's back in action and immediately scoring for his team. More football action coming your way after this game from Sri Lanka Sports TV. The defending champions, Falah College, taking on Darussalam College after this, which will be kicked off at 3:30 p.m. So non-stop football action, schools football action coming your way after a long time. We see other sports, other school sports dominating, such as rugby or even cricket. So good to see football back in action, and hoping to see the crowd coming in as the day progresses.
Yeah, okay, that's going to be a cracker of a match in the evening. Darussalam taking on Zahira, the defending champions. Both teams will be, I hope both teams are going to play some good attacking football, and the crowds will, I'm definitely sure that the crowds will be coming on to the stadium to watch the third game for the day. Al Falah needs to settle down their nerves and take things a bit steady. Hameedia is playing a very high intense game. They are more comfortable with the ball, and given that they have ball players in their team, they will love to keep possession and then attack the the Al Falah goal.
Exactly. 3-0 lead for Hameed Al Husseine College early on in the game. It will be uphill task for Al Falah Central to catch up this. You never know what will happen in the game of football. Can expect the unexpected. That's what sports is all about. Coaches say never. Coaches always teach the never die attitude for the players. Very warm afternoon in City League Football Complex. A historical ground for Sri Lanka football. There is no better person to talk about this ground other than you.
Yeah, Akhil, City League itself has produced many national and international players for Sri Lanka. And coincidentally, we'll be celebrating 100th year next year in 2026. So there are plans to have a huge celebration for the centenary year for City League. This has been the cradle of football for many generations, and you see many tournaments been played here. And it's lovely to host the Sri Lanka Schools tournament where the elite schools take part.
Yes, and the last year's edition, the semi-finals were played out here at the City League complex. Aligarh Central took on Hameed Al Husseine College, and the match between Zara College and St. Joseph's College also took place at City League Football Complex under the fading light, where we had the went all the way to the penalty shootout. Hameed Al Husseine College showing all signs of a top side in the country with the way they're handling things, Shabir.
Yeah, like I said, Akhil, most of their players are good ball players and they are very comfortable with the ball than without. So we would see the ball being played right from the defense and transition made into the midfield and then moving in for attack. So Al Falah needs to read their game, their coach needs to read their game well and see that the, the attack is stopped from their defensive half and play. Al Falah needs to play their normal game. They need to play their attacking game. Just because they are 3-0 down in the 21st minute, they should not go into a defensive pattern. I mean, the game is still open yet. And like you said, Akhil, you'll never know. Football is a funny game.
Exactly, football. Exactly, it's a funny game. Al Falah has all the time in the world to make a dramatic comeback. We have seen this in enough and more times in Sri Lanka football as well in international football. We saw Sri Lanka being down a few years ago, 4-0 down, and I think about the 56th or 60th minute, and staging a comeback to finishing it for all.
Yeah, Akhil, both teams have to hold on to their nerves. I mean, we see that Al Falah is now settling down a bit to their natural game. And I see that I suspect that the Hamidia defends and the midfield a bit their judgment on the high balls is a bit of an issue. So they need to the Al Falah team needs to capitalize on that. And we see the first corner for Al Falah. That was a good ball played into the box. And the Al Falah defender leaped well. Unfortunately, the Hamidia defender was also disturbing him. So now we see that both teams have settled down, and the high intense game that Hamidia played in the first 15 minutes is not what they are playing now. So obviously Coach Rahman would have had a pattern to start off with and then hold on in the second 15 minutes of play.
Good passage of play there by Hameed Al Husseine College. Unfortunately, lost possession. Good to see a warm day in Colombo today after we had a rainy day in Saturday during the match between Gateway College and St. Joseph's College. So Falah College with an opportunity now. Good defense coming the Hamedians' way. Hamedians, every player in Hameed Al Husseine College seems to be knowing their role very well. In the 25th minute of the game as per our clock. 3-0. Oh, that was a very close opportunity there. Calm and collective in the end after a small confusion by the goalkeeper, but all good in the end for Hameed Al Husseine College. Al Falah seems to be good in attack, but need to improve on their finishing a bit more.
Yeah, okay, that's the second time that Al Falah attacked the Hameedia goal with a high ball, and they were almost successful in scoring in both occasions. So I think, like I said, Al Falah has now figured out what they need to do, and they will be playing those long balls into the goal mouth. The Hameedia defenders still a bit of uncertainty in their minds, so it should be good for the game if Al Falah can pull a goal back. The weather is of course very hot and humid, and given the circumstances, the play will gradually slow down, and we see Al Falah very well worked off, tackled by the number 14 player of Hameedia.
Talking about the coaches, Shabin, both the coaches are well known in the circuit of Sri Lanka football. Fazul Rahman coached the Sri Lanka under-17 youth side recently, and Harsha Fernando has all the experience representing Sri Lanka. So good to see former players taking on coaching duties and grooming the next generation.
Yeah, okay, both coaches are experienced enough to handle teams of this nature. Of course, Rahman has been in the business for a long time, and coaching the youth under 17 national team would have gained a lot of experience for him to transform that experience into the Hameedia team. And we see that Hameedia is playing a little bit more better than Al Falah in terms of their composure and their ball play. Harsha, we know that he was involved with the national team for a long time, and representing Sri Lanka Air Force in the elite tournaments. So he's very new to the job, but I think his players will definitely support the coach's philosophy in getting the way he playing the way he wants them to play.
As we are in the drinks break, there is a small drinks break due to humidity. He will move on to a short commercial break. Short commercial break.
It takes flight as the whistle sings. January teams won golden prize. You hear the roar, let's watch us ride. Step by step we train, we fight for the glory, for the light.
back live after a short cooling break. A big thanks to our sponsor, Lemonade, for pulling off them. Yes, now once again, Hameed Al Husseine on attack. Abdullah trying to play around too much with the ball there, I guess. Ending up conceding possession. Hameed Al Husseine College. There you go. Handball offense by Hameed Al Husseine College. The game has intense a bit after the cooling break, Shabir.
Yeah, okay, that was a good advantage played by referee Asita Taranga. He continued play and brought back when there was an infringement. So let's see what Al Falah has in their minds. I'm sure they will take advantage of the height of the goalkeeper of Hameedia. Both benches are worked up on the situation. Al Falah pulls a goal back. We'll have a game on our hands, Akil.
Exactly. Al Falah with the best opportunity they have had so far in the game. See the defensive wall formed as well. Will Al Falah College make it count? See a lot of instructions being passed by everyone around. Referee passing out some instructions to the goalkeeper of Hameed Al Husseine College. Al Falah College with the free kick. Oh, that's a super shot indeed at the goal by Al Falah College striker. Good football all around there.
It's nice to see moving into a different level after those 3 goals from Hameedia. That was a good, very well worked off free kick by Al Falah and an equally good save by the Hameedia custodian. So the drinks break has done the change for both schools. Al Falah now in midfield for the possession, and Hameedia, after their opening 15 minutes, we see them slowing down a bit. It's good to see the crowds coming in for the afternoon game, being a Poya day. Yet we see the football-loving fans from both schools coming to cheer their teams. See the replay. It was a very, very worked off game. Take advantage of the height of the goalkeeper, Al Falah, if they are to score. And now we see some urgency from Al Falah to take things up to the Hameedia half.
Not the ideal size for the goalkeeper, but in the end, a good save. by the Hamidian goalie. Since the cooling break, Al Falah has picked up some pace in the game. Another free kick. The free kick in favor of Al Falah Central. The second one within the last 5 minutes. A beautiful free kick there by Al Falah. Oh, that's another very close opportunity. Goes begging for Al Falah. They have had some fair amount of opportunities in the last few minutes of the game. We'll have the replay of that, Shabir.
Yeah, okay, like I said, they're identified media and they are playing high ball, goal mouth. It just needed the fainted of touches for it to convert into a goal. So we have a game in our hands, Akil. 3-0, although the scores reached 3-0, the game has intensified since. The referee is playing some good advantages, keeping the flow of the game.
When it comes to school sports, and now Al Falah once again on the attack. The ball goes out of play. When it comes to school sports, the referee is always a man under the pump.
Any game, Akil, the refs on the radar, be it rugby, cricket, or hockey, or football, especially when it's in the school circuit, the referee is on the radar and a closely watched person in the 90 minutes. So it's a good ball won by the Hamidia number 15 and well read by the Al Falah goalkeeper who came off his line to clear that ball off play. We have Hamidia leading the game by 3-0. All 3 goals scored in the first 15 minutes of the game. And since we have seen Al Falah attacking the Hamidia goal and failing to convert those into goals. Hamidia would go in for a long throw. A stocky player, number 9 from Hamidia, uses his body well to protect the ball. And let's see what Hamidia has to convert this. That was a wasted chance by Hamidia. We see that Hamidia dominating play in the first 20 minutes of the game, although they were dominating. Al Falah playing a bit aggressive at the moment, which is good for the game. And Hameedia winning a free kick in that occasion.
Exactly. Injury concern to Rahman from Hameed Al Husseine College. So we're approaching the scorecard. The scorecard really doesn't show us what really unfolded in the first half. It shows 3-0 in favor of Hameed Al Husseine College, but Al Falah showed a lot of fight and grit, especially in the last 20 minutes.
Yes, Akhil, the score doesn't resemble what is going on in the field. The first 15 minutes, Hameedia did well to score, and they scored 3 goals. And since then, Al Falah has been playing their game to contain the strong Hameedia outfit. However, in the process, they also failed to convert goals. A free kick for Hameedia on the left flank. Al Falah needs to make sure that they man mark the Hameedia forwards well. Hameedia with a free kick. Akhil, I see both teams finding it difficult to judge the aerial balls. Hameedia now keeping ball possession. They will most probably play down the 4 minutes remaining in the game.
Yes, they would like to rather go to the first half break 3-0 rather than being 3-1. So throwing in opportunity of Al Falah now. One beautiful thing the sport of football can bring you is it has gone for all part of the country, unless some other sports. You see Kingswood play, you say Aligarh play, you see Gampala Zahira, then you say schools from Jaffna coming and dominating the game of football. That is one a positive factor when it comes to football.
Yeah, Akhil, football has its reach across the island. Um, Back in the days, there's an opportunity for Al Falah, but a very nice tackle from the number 3 of Hameedia. Timed it well. He was cautious that the tackle was made inside the box and did a very well tackle to reach the ball. So let's see what Al Falah has to do. The sponsors backing these schoolboys. Hameedia on the break. Very well read by the goalkeeper. Came off his line quickly. I'm sure both coaches will have their team talk. Different team talks, obviously, from the Hameedia camp and the Al Falah camp.
A free kick. Maybe to wrap up things in the first half, as we have completed 45 minutes as per our clock. A free kick underutilized by Al Falah Central there. Throwing in opportunity of Al Falah Central now. Collected cleanly by the goalkeeper. And that's the end of the first half of the match between Hameed Al Husseine College and Al Falah Central. The third game of the Ball Blaster 2025, powered by Lifebuoy Bodywash. As you see the statistics, Hameed Al Husseine College with 3 goals and having major possession, and shots attempted 2 each for both the teams. And you see a clean game so far with no yellow cards or red cards. Both the teams have had a fair amount of corner kicks as well. There you see the halftime confirmation. Hameed Al Husseine College 3 and Al Falah Central with none. Goal scorers from Hameed Al Husseine College: Bassam with 1 goal, an own goal from Al Falah Central, Hassan and Hussein scoring the 3rd goal for Hameed Al Husseine College. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, Shabir, your thoughts on all 3 goals?
Yeah, Akhil, this was a very well worked off goal. An accurate cross, and we see the second goal coming in. The shot taken by the Hameedia player is played into this goal by number 2 Hassan. That was the 3rd goal coming in from Hameedia. Again, the man was unmarked, and he had a cushion to his number 11. It was a very well worked off free kick.
Yes, that's it for the first half. Hameed Al Husseine College with a 3-0 advantage. We'll catch you with the second half action from Sri Lanka Sports TV. Till then, we'll move to a short commercial break.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas.
දැන් නැව වගේ පැය 12ක් පුරා කෝල් එකේ ඉන්න. අයිස් මෙන්තෝල් සහිත නව Lifebuoy Cool Fresh. දහඩිය දුගඳ ඇති කරන සමේ විෂ බීජ ඉවත් කර පැය 12ක් පුරා ඔබව කෝල් එකේ ෆ්‍රෙෂ් කරයි. Lifebuoy Cool Fresh. ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වුණාමයි බොයිස්ලා කෝල්.
Yours Sports, dedicated to sports.
Takes flight as the whistle sings. January team from golden prize. You hear the roar, let's watch us ride. Step by step we train, we fight for the glory, for the light. All pieces the fire strong. Together we stand, we can go wrong.
Roll was the we play, we fight. Raiders one, we shine.
Back live with the second half action of the Lifebuoy Bodywash Ball Blaster 2025. The match between Hameed Al Husseine College and Al Falah Central. Hameed Al Husseine College with a clear lead of 3-0 against Al Falah Central. Al Falah Central showed us some glimpse of attack during the latter half of the first half, but unfortunately they couldn't convert into a scoring opportunity. A fresh start now for both the sides with Hameed on top. Welcome back, Shabir.
Yeah, Akhil. Al Falah has to be mindful of the first 15-20 minutes of the second half. That's where Hameed was dangerous during the first half. And let's see appeals for handball from the players, but the referee continues the play. We don't see any changes from both teams during halftime, so I'm guessing the coaches are sticking to their original starting 11. It's a long kick into the Al Falah half. This is where Hameed is dangerous, Akil. Playing it from their own defense line. You see, Al Falah was organized, or rather got themselves organized after the first half cooling break, and we saw the game being played in a much more intensive manner by both teams. Instructions are very clear by the Al Falah coach, Harsha. A free kick for Hameed.
Since we are very close to the coaches here at the commentary area, we see a lot of instructions being passed to the players. I have not played any competitive football. You played a lot, Shabir. When you play, do you really listen to what the coaches say, or do you just nod your head?
Well, we just nod our heads because instructions coming at this moment of time when the game is played and the coaches instructing, it's a difficult thing to grasp. So let's see the free kick taken. It's a good kick played in and it's a goal. The goal scored direct by the Hameed player. Again, the goalkeeper misread the kick entirely, made a mess of it. The number 3 from Hameed scoring the 4th goal for Hameed.
JSM Rias, the scorer for Hameed Al Husseine College, with an untouchable lead, I would say, with 4-0 now. But Al Falah should do some damage control now, as the goal conceded and the goal scored might play a difference. There's a goal there. Beautiful kick indeed. Totally Nearly missed it by goalkeeper of Falah. Now, corner kick opportunity. The first opportunity for Al Falah Central in the second half. As the ball goes out of play. Talking about nodding your head for the coaches. There's an incident during the 1996 World Cup final, I think. Dave Atmo have said Ravindra Pushpakumar some instruction and go out and say at the players. He had just gone and said, Manado Kua. You might remember that incident.
Yeah, okay, that's I think a famous story behind it. I've heard Ravindra Pushpakumar narrating it quite well in talk shows. So that's how the game is. Like the intentions needs to be very clear and instructions needs to be very clear. The coaches giving out short instructions is the way that you get your message through into the players. I mean, the players, they need to focus on the game. So while you do that, the instructions from the coaches needs to be very precise and short. So that's where the nodding comes in from the players, you know. The coach acknowledges and the coach is happy, the player is happy, unless you do something wrong.
Exactly. And if it doesn't happen according to the coach's plan, you might see different languages coming out of the mouth of the coaches. So it's a 4-0 lead for Hameed Al Husseine College now. Al Falah should try their level best to reduce the damage at least going forward, because goals conceded or the goals scored might play a huge role when the qualification scenario comes to the second round.
Yeah, Akhil, since two teams are going through into the second round, damage control for Al Falah is, I think, the right thing to do by the coach. We see the Al Falah substitute goalkeeper warming up. But I think the process should be that the Al Falah defense needs to hold their heads up. I mean, it's difficult for these players after a very long break playing competitive football. Given that it's their first match, there might be a few loose ends that both coaches will have to tighten. But credit should go to the Hamedia players for displaying some good football, individual skills versus team combination. Hamedia on the attack. A goal kick for Al Falah.
Al Falah might have to work a lot on their finishing. The coach Harsha will address these issues going forward in the tournament, since Harsha is also a recently retired player. The current it's good to, I mean, after a long break, the players are being back playing competitive football. So during the break, the players must have been a lot through practice sessions. How do you keep the players engaged through such a long time? We see other sports compared to football doesn't have such a long break, but this, I mean, after the last tournament, there's about 7 to 8 months break, Shabir.
Yeah, we see the first change coming in for Al Falah. The goalkeeper has been replaced. Abdul Rahman taking on the reins of the goalkeeper. Yeah, Akhil, unlike in other sports, I mean, it's a sad story for the school segment that there is no proper calendar. So that's the biggest thing that I think the school authorities needs to think through, because had the schools have a proper calendar for the season, then I think the coaches, the schools and the players can get themselves much more organized. And in terms of the break, yes, I've known most of the schools have been practicing for a long time. We see Hamidi on the attack. Most of the schools practice for a long time, and fortunately they play friendly games, Akhil, so that's how they keep up with the game situations. And there are also players who are involved in the domestic circuit as well. So we have the leagues, we have junior tournaments conducted by academies and clubs and leagues. So the players are engaged, but when it comes to the school structure, lack of games, lack of a proper season calendar is something the school authorities will need to seriously look at. It's a good phase of play by Al Falah. Again, the defenders are a bit suspicious on the high ball. I mean, the Al Falah captain Bilal had plenty of time to get that ball under his control. I'm surprised to see that none of the Al Falah players are using the tactic of long throws, especially given that their coach is a specialist in long throws, Akhil.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the new goalkeeper taking over, and Abdurrahman taking over from Adil, the goalkeeping duties. We saw in the last game also Gateway College, after conceding 3 goals, changing their goalies. The second match of the day, another Colombo 10 derby coming your way. Which will be kicked off at 3:30 p.m. Al Falah Central College hanging around with lot of opportunities. They could have made use of at least a few opportunities came their way to finish. The scorecard would have been very different, Shabir.
Yes, Akhil. Late towards the first half, they missed 3 clear opportunities of scoring. And we saw in the first half stats that ball possession was not that much between the two teams. And the score didn't really tell us the story in the first half. So direct kick by Al Falah. Oh. See the first shot at goal in the second half by Al Falah through a free kick. Just miscut the upright. Okay, you saw the first half stats and there were less number of shots taken at goal, but when it came into the positional play, we saw both teams equally sharing possession, but the scoreline didn't read so. It's a good ball through, played through the defense of Hameedia. So the next game is going to be a cracker of a match. Akhil, your old school taking on home-time rivals Darussalam.
Exactly. Talking about Darussalam College, they've had good progress in football for the last few years. Few good talents unearthed by Darussalam College. So it will be a good match to witness as a football fan. But as always, slightly favoring my side, my school. But I should be unbiased as a commentator, so let's witness a good game of football.
Definitely, Akhil. We hope both teams will play some good football because that's what the crowds are in for. So the substitutions for Hameed Al Husseine, Salif coming in place of Saeed. And we have Hassan coming in place of Arham. Very well taken down by the Al Falah player. It's a good ball in. That's the first decent cross by Al Falah in the second half.
Strange, but a nice save in the end. Not the way the coaches will want, but no damage in the end, Shabit.
Yeah, okay, it's not a textbook save, but what really matters is the score line. So the substitute goalkeeper did well to come off his line and stretch and keep the scores 4-0. We see both teams getting caught when they are in the attack, and especially Al Falah, they are now sending most of their players up in for attack, which is justifiable since they are 4-0 down. But they need to convert these free kicks into goals. Okay, they badly need these goals coming in. Their forwards are doing good, but the midfielders and the defenders need to come into play as well.
Exactly. A few shots on target will make the goalkeeper a bit nervy. And talking about favorites to win this tournament, Hameed Al Husseine College is putting out a statement early on in the tournament with a 4-0 lead so far. And also talking about the first game of the tournament, Gateway College came out comprehensively against St. Joseph's College, 3-0. So any side not to be taken lightly.
Yeah, Akhil, I saw the first match between St. Joseph's and Gateway. Although it was a scrappy game, I wouldn't say that we can write off both teams, but when you take Hameedia and Al-Falah, I think Hameedia is playing a decent game, and they have a very well-knit unit, I would say, and might be one of the favorites to go all the way into the finals. However, we have your old school Zahira as well, so we'll never know. Anyway, you guys have a score to settle. The derby match between Hameedia and Zahira didn't go well. So obviously you guys will have a score to settle when both teams meet in the finals, if they do.
Too early to call. Let's see how the tournament goes. And also, by the way other teams are playing, you never know who will be in the finals. And talking about scores to settle, that was just a friendly game, Shabir. So we have not taken it seriously.
Well, that was a heck of a friendly game. You know, the vibes and the hype created by both schools, which was very good in terms of getting football into a next level. But friendly game, I don't think so. But a fair statement by you, Akhil, to say that it's too early to predict who will make it into at least the semi-finals. We saw Hameedia missing another good chance to score. But I think the reserve goalkeeper, although he doesn't look, I would say, a proper goalkeeper, his intentions are very clear, not get Hameedia to score. So he's there to spoil their party. Hameedia with a corner. Again, you see man marking in the defense is poor by Al-Falah. They need to get that. They need to work on that. The man marking is very poor when it comes to a corner kick. I think the Al-Falah guys are a bit excited about this game, and they're not getting things right, even their basics. Would have been the 4 goals, early 3 goals. That would have hurt them really bad. But we are talking of under 20 football, so it has to be played in a different level. I mean, at this level, this is what the coaches need to teach the kids playing senior competitive football. How to manage the game, the temperaments, and the attitudes.
Exactly. There are certain things which makes a great sportsman an extraordinary sportsman. That's what a lot of qualities football players should develop, especially football players in Sri Lanka, I would say, and also other sport players. Personally, I carry out programs in certain schools. What makes a sportsman a great sportsman? I have done few sessions for Darussalam College and few other schools as well. Factors like being on time for practices and respecting the referees, respecting your opponent. And that's another goal for Hameed Al Husseine College. Fifth charm for Hameed Al Husseine College. 5 goals lead. What a statement by Hameed Al Husseine College. Bassam with his second goal of the match. Beautifully finished. That's what you want from your team. The first game, making an early statement with a 5-0 lead so far. So talking about the program, a lot of factors school players need to develop, such as respecting your referees, respecting the opponent, playing for the crest in front of you and the name on the back, which will make you a greater sportsman. There you go. A beautiful goal in the end. Fifth one. They have gone past the nets. The scorecard looks like a one-sided affair, Shabir.
It certainly does look like that, Akhil. And certainly the body language of Al Falah shows that they have already given up on the game with less than 18 minutes to go. Well played by the number 11, but missed by the striker. That was a well worked off move. He managed to beat the offside trap. The advancing goalkeeper was stranded. There were other options for the striker to do, but I think there was a slight touch by the goalkeeper. So Hameed are going in for more goals.
The hunger for goals never stops, even if you score all the goals in the world. That's how. Three points there, Shabir.
Yep, well converted drop kick, I would say. Yeah, Akhil, that's something which is a characteristic of a good team. They don't give up until the final whistle is gone. And Hameedia is going after goals, which is naturally for them the way they play. And I think by the looks of it, Coach Rahman has rested a few players who were supposed to start. Maybe tactical, maybe he wanted to rest them and see how the bench works.
See some replacement coming now. MHM Ibrahim comes in for Hameed Al Husseine College. Hassan, the recently included player for Hameed Al Husseine College on the attack now. That's a little bit of harsh hit there by Al Falah player. There you go. That's a bad hit. Have you had any hits like this when you were playing?
Well, the Alpha defender got the wrong ball instead of the football. It's part and parcel of the game, Akil. Getting hits. I remember playing with Zahira during an under 16 counter, and one of my good friends was playing right defense, and he came straight onto my knee. I thought I broke my knee. Unfortunately, he has left a scar which I carry for the rest of my life. So, good times. I mean, that's how. But my good friend Ahmadine. So we have been friends since, and that's how you should play. I mean, football needs to play. You need to play it fair, but also aggressively.
Exactly. Fair play and aggressive also at the same time. That's what you see from players like Virat Kohli in cricket. Al Falah now on the attack. Unfortunately, what a passage of play there by the goalkeeper, saving multiple times. One hit.
That was a good double save, good reflexes by he enjoyed that save. Okay. Yeah, like sportsmen like Virat Kohli, who play the game aggressively but fair. That's what the youngsters should take things from. You know, at the end of the day, you play the 90 minutes and you come off as friends. That's what sportsmanship is all about. And we see the substitutes for Hameedia combining. Credit should go to the Hameedia coach for getting the team well organized in defense and in offense.
Exactly. So early on in the game, the Hameedia captain hitting high in the air, showing glimpses of players like Shan Altaf, Abdul Hadi, hitting it high in the air. We saw a lot of good stuff happening at rugby. A lot of players getting into spotlight. Let's hope a lot of players from this tournament also will get into the spotlight, will make it to the junior sides and also the national side eventually.
Yeah, okay, both those players whom you mentioned are football players. So that's where you start off your basics in kicking. And yes, hope and pray that the under 20 guys playing for their respective schools will go on to represent the junior levels and the senior levels and play for the country. And that should be ultimate dream for all youngsters. Be it whatever game you play, representing the country will give you that satisfaction of achieving something. All the hard work done by the player, the parents and coaches will be paved off. We saw that cross coming in by the Hameedia left footer. The goalkeeper again coming off well to collect that ball. Just under 8 minutes to go. Akil and Hamidia is still on the attack, searching for that 6th goal.
Yes, the replacement goalie have done a decent job for Al Falah by conceding only one. Hameed Al Husseine College on the attack. Infringement by Hameed Al Husseine College. Now, a free kick in favor of Hameed Al Husseine College. We enter in the last 10 minutes of the game as per our clock. So last few minutes, Hameed Al Husseine College with a clear lead, looking for more. Al Falah Central, for the way they played this game. Abdullah on the attack now for Hameed Al Husseine College. For the way they have played so far, Al Falah deserves at least one goal against their name, Shabir.
Yeah, Akil, at least one would have done great things for them. I mean, certainly the first half they did well, but second half it has been Hamedia all around. When Harsha Fernando will have to go back to his drawing boards and take a look at the mistakes that the players have done in the first match and come back fresh for their second game. And although Hamedia has scored 5, they're still going in for the 6th. They're playing well, good football.
Exactly, Hameed Al Husseine College played good football today. Especially, they have been outstanding on the attack and defense as well. But still, their coach will have to address certain areas going forward.
Yeah, Akil, they will have to address the high ball situations, especially given that when it comes to the matches in the group, they might face different opponents, and these might come in handy. So we see a collision of players. So we see the Al Falah bench getting to do a couple of changes. The dying minutes of the game. We didn't see any yellow cards coming in, Akhil, which is good for the game.
Exactly. Shout out go to the ref as well for allowing play on certain times and keeping the game going, the momentum of the match.
Yeah, referee Taranga has played a good advantages, which credit should go to the referee and his assistants as well for keeping the flow of the game. And the game has been managed well by the referee as well as the assistant referees. I think more than Asita Taranga, the fourth official had the time with the two coaches. I think he should also be commended for a good job done managing the benches, which we don't see often.
The fourth officials will go through a lot. We'll hear a lot from the benches of the respective teams. It's just the beginning. So we'll have another interesting game coming up for today. Stay tuned with Sri Lanka Sports TV for end-to-end action of Sri Lanka football. Some of the best football players in the country taking on each other. See a classy performance from Hameed Al Husseine College. If you are to announce a player of the match from my end, I would go with the goalkeeper of Hameed Al Husseine College.
Yeah, okay, he had not much to do, but those two double saves, the quick reflexes, I think will deservingly be the man of the match. Having said that, the outfield players of Hamedia had done exceptionally well, teaming up to score 5 goals against a gritty Al Falah team, I would say.
It's like putting up a statement early on in the tournament that we are here to win.
Definitely, yes. Okay, it's a statement, a very clear statement by the Hamedia bench and its players. I'm sure they will definitely go for the kill in the latter stages of the tournament. Going to the last minute of play of normal duration time.
Hameed Al Husseine College with a clear lead of 5-0 in the third game of Lifebuoy Bodywash 2025, which is about to wrap up. Hameed Al Husseine College have been on the mark. Whenever they got an opportunity, they have pounced on any opportunity came their way with a clear lead of 5-0. Top quality football coming your way from Hameed Al Husseine College. That's the full-time confirmation of the third game. Of the Ball Blaster 2025. Hameed Al Husseine College winning by 5-0. What a statement it has been from Hameed Al Husseine College.
So we see the stats, the overall stats of the game. Hameed Al Husseine having 63% of the possession, while having shots on goal, 5 shots on goal, of which Al Falah has 3. So it was almost a one-sided affair for Hameedia, whereas in the first half it was a very closely contested affair by the two teams. So the next match on is the big one. Zahira College, Colombo taking on Darussalam College. Kickoff at 3:30. Will be kickoff at 3:45, and we are expecting a crowd to be present at the City Football League complex to cheer their teams. It's going to be a high intense derby, and Akhil is all geared up for the match.
Of course, I'm geared up for that match, but let's see how it goes. Not a friendly match, yes. See the highlights of the concluded game between Hameed Al Husseine College and Al Falah. That's the first goal. Jump in there. Beautiful header by Hamedian player. Wasam. They got so many opportunities throughout the game. Al Falah Center unfortunately couldn't control anything coming their way. Couldn't finish, of course. And that's the second goal, and own goal conceded by Al Falah Center, giving them 2-0 early on in the game for Hameed Al Husseine College. Al Husseine College had opportunities after opportunities coming their way. That was another beautiful header by Hussein. The third goal for Hameed Al Husseine College. Al Husseine College had shots at the goal. This was the 5th goal, I believe, by Hameed Al Husseine College. Now that was another opportunity going begging for Hameed Al Husseine College. Al Falah Center did not capitalize. Any opportunity came their way.
That was their drawback again. They had plenty of opportunities in the first half. Had they converted, it would have been a different ball game altogether. But credit to Hameedia as well. They kept their composure and came out winners. Especially the dominance was clearly demonstrated in the second half. But they went for the kill, I would say.
True enough. This was the last goal of early on in the tournament with a 5-0 victory for Hameed Al Husseine College, giving an eventual warning to all the teams that they are coming at you at any cost. It's another opportunity came their way. Falah Central of a handball, but the free kick. The free kick came their way. There you go, the highlights of the recently concluded game. Hameed Al Husseine College winning by 5-0 against Al Falah Central. The first league game for Hameed Al Husseine College of the Lifebuoy Bodywash Ball Blaster 2025. Thank you very much for everyone who joined us through Sri Lanka Sports TV and POTV channel number 155. Signing off from the first game from City League Football Complex, Shabir Rahim and Akil Masoon. So we will catch you with the live action again from the Colombo 10 derby between Dar es Salaam College and Zaira College Colombo, the defending champions. So we'll catch you shortly with the second game.